Hello everyone, it's Mark Shalero, the owner of MS Classic Cars, and the time has finally come. We are looking at our 1960 Cadillac Series 62 Supercharged LS3 Custom Coupe that we just completed. Today is Christmas Eve, December 24th. This is the first time that we're highlighting this unbelievable build. I want to say we just posted a few videos on this car. They have already started to skyrocket. We're over 250,000 views because everybody is falling in love with this particular car. We have nicknamed this car Envious. Why? It's quite obvious, I think. This is a car that I will tell you, of all the cars that we've ever offered at MS Classic Cars, this one now goes to the top of the list as my personal favorite. We just sold a beautiful 1965 Ford Mustang Fastback that was a tribute to Ken Miles' Flying Mustang. That was my favorite car to date. But when this car was finished, I instantly fell in love with it. I drive a Cadillac every single day as my daily driver. I have a soft spot for Cadillacs, but I think everybody agrees that the body style of this particular car, being a 1960, being a Series 62 with a coupe, and then of course when you build it the way that this car has been built, it just takes it to the next stratosphere. So I would tell you, first and foremost, this vehicle is going to be selling at the upcoming Barrett-Jackson auction in Scottsdale, Arizona. Everybody knows that we are one of Barrett-Jackson's top sellers. We have been for many, many years. We've done some really outstanding things with Barrett-Jackson. They're definitely a part of the MS Classic Cars team. The auction is going to be held January 18th through the 26th. For anybody who's interested in this car, again, it's selling with no reserve. It is very easy, if you cannot be there in person, to bid on this car. You can bid with a proxy with Barrett-Jackson, give them a number, they'll bid on your behalf. You can do it online, you can do it over the phone. So do not feel like this car is out of your reach because it's going to Barrett-Jackson. You can just make a phone call, register, and bid. So let's get a little bit closer to this car and start to kind of go over some of the details. I'm just going to walk around it. We will end at the engine compartment, which is really a jewelry box that I'll show you in just a few minutes. But first and foremost, as I said earlier, this car has never been exposed until now. The build was finished actually in '24 by MS Classic Cars. The original builder spent many years restoring this car, meticulous restoring this car. It does retain all of its original sheet metal, so this was not a car that was full of rust and it was needed to be filled with tons of Bondo and things like that. It was a very, very original car that he had had for quite some time, and then again spent countless years restoring it to the level that you see here today. So when we acquired the vehicle, it had a new engine that was actually GM Performance. It was a 572 crate engine. It was more of a muscle car engine. We fell in love with the car enough. We did a personal inspection on this vehicle prior to purchasing it. And again, when Carl Almeida, who works with the MS Classic Cars team, said he thinks it could be the nicest car that we've ever offered, he was sure not mistaken. But again, we knew that we probably would have selected a different drivetrain for this car than what it had when we originally bought it. So once we acquired it in the beginning of 2024, the MS Classic Cars team went hard to work, and we just finished it a few weeks ago, and here it is today. So looking at the front here, again, when you look at the quality of this bodywork here, you can see that whole beautiful section underneath the windshield there, how it just flows beautiful. That is a brand new windshield. It's got brand new glass. It's all tinted. It's crystal clear. You can see where the wipers would be. They have those chrome pieces there. You can see these fender and hood pieces here that come down beautifully. Again, keeping all of that originality. The most impressive part of the front of this car, in my opinion, is that beautiful black bullet style grille. It is definitely a highlight of this car, this body style. They did shave some pieces of the bumper, so that whole bumper was obviously re-chromed, just like the grille was re-chromed. It was all done professionally, so all the chrome work on this car was sent out to be restored, and you can see it's in absolutely stunning condition. Look at the bright work around these headlights here. Again, is there anything sexier than the front of a 1960 Cadillac? It is absolutely stunning. This color is Ford Lime Gold. This is a stunning color. To see this in person, I don't think that you could have ever picked a better color to dress the body of this car with. Again, they could have chose white, you could have chose silver, you could have chose red, you could have chose black. I think it's just perfect as far as the color is concerned. It's, you know, sometimes to make a car work, you've got to have all of the right components, whether it's the wheel choice or whether it's the color, the interior color, what you have under the hood, and this car hits it out of the park. So if we come over here, you'll check out those amazing wheels. Those wheels are made by a company, it's Colorado Custom. They're Stella wheels, they're 18-inch. They're a really nice polished wheel. They got the Cadillac emblem in the center. They're wrapped with diamond tires. You can see those fat white walls to keep the Cadillac look. Sometimes you can look at a car, somebody makes the wrong selection as far as the wheel choice is concerned, and it just ruins the whole build. I think they absolutely nailed it with these particular wheels and tires. Now, if you go to our website at msclassiccars.com, we have a ton of photos you can see in full detail, but check out the size of those brakes, okay? They made the wheel just big enough without going too big, but look what they put behind the wheel. Those are bare 6-piston calipers on huge drilled and slotted rotors. They couldn't have went with a better choice. And the other thing is, they could have went with a black caliper or a red caliper, but instead they chose silver, which kind of blends a little bit with the color of the wheel, so it's not too overdone. Once again, put red calipers on this car and it kind of changes a little bit of its luxurious appearance. So again, they nailed it. Look down the side of this car. It's super, super straight. Again, all of this chrome work here is impeccable. This is a vehicle that if we had finished it a little bit earlier and we could back up time, MS Classic Cars would have loved to bring this car to SEMA, and we would have put mirrors underneath it. We would have displayed it, because once again, when I get to the front of the car and you see what's under the hood, you're not going to believe it. But as we're making our way over to the side here, again, all of the gap lines, all the body work's impeccable. Look at the amount of trim work in stainless that is on this car. They incorporated all your parking lights and your tail lights into the body. Again, your wheel covers down here. Again, look at the wheel, how you can just see enough of it where it matches the front, but it's perfect. Again, let's look at this interior here. I want to show you a little bit about the inside. Now, obviously watching this video, you can't smell the leather, but I can smell the leather. As soon as you open the door, it's like, wow, this just reeks of luxury. The headliner is all custom made. You can see all the lighting is LED. This is suede. So we got a suede headliner. We got suede sun visors. The dash has all been customized. All the door panels. It's a full length console. So you can see how there's cup holders for both the driver and passenger in the front, and there's also cup holders for the rear passengers. Again, they built the LED lights within the console. They use these beautiful seats. These are out of a 1965 Ford Thunderbird. Was a perfect choice, because once again, if a seat doesn't look right, it really throws the look off of a car. But notice how the seat just fits perfectly. This is all types of things that are thought of beforehand and designed. It's got Dakota Digital gauges. If you look at the photos, again, on our website, you'll see it's got the Cadillac, all the V's you can see on both sides. It's got an LED shifter indicator there you can see. It's got a Flaming River tilt steering wheel. This is a Con 2R steering wheel, again, that just brings a little bit of that polished look that matches the wheels. It was wrapped in the same color sage leather that you see on the upholstery. Again, the carpeting, the Cadillac door sills, the vintage air conditioning. It just goes on and on and on. There's so many things about this car that were so tastefully done. It just hits all the check and all the boxes. Just an absolutely stunning piece. But once again, if we can just bring the camera over here and just highlight that dash. They got rid of the glove box, the ashtray. They smoothed all that out. Even look at the pedals, even the pedals. You know, a lot of times guys skip on the pedals. They did a beautiful job matching them all. Again, power windows, air conditioning, tilt wheel, all the accessories that you would have in a new car, this car has. As we make our way over to the back, you can even see on the package shelf here, the upholstery work has been brought back here as well. Your speakers. This car looks like the factory built it. It's truly amazing. The bodywork, the craftsmanship is second to none. Again, look at this bright work back here. Iconic. This is such an iconic design. It's just amazing. All the Cadillac emblems match beautifully. Front and rear, look at this. They really highlight the quarters. Such a sporty looking car. Again, wheel covers, hiding the wheels just perfectly, just a little bit of piece. And again, I don't know if you can tell in the camera, but this is a tinted window. It's, again, all of the glass is tinted and it's all new. I mentioned that earlier. The gap lines are beautiful. It's got kind of a cab forward design, which is really aerodynamic looking. Again, it really just gives you so many different feelings when you're looking at this car. You can study it really for a long time and truly appreciate what GM did back in this era. It was a very interesting time in the 1960s. Again, just blown away by this car. Now, underneath here, it's going to show you what's underneath the hood. This is where it really, really gets interesting. So at MS Classic Cars, we've learned that a lot of these cars that are customized, and this is not taking anything away from any of the car builders. We've bought cars from some of the best car builders, you know, in the country, quite honestly. But a lot of times we find there's not a lot of thought process that goes behind putting these cars together in the engineering to make sure that they work. And I had said to my service department, and I really tip my hat to all the guys in our service department, I said, if we do this deal and we invest $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 into this car, and we do something that we really have never seen before, and that's putting an LS3 in a 1960 Cadillac, but not only making it an LS3 swap, but also putting a supercharger and making all of it work. And when I say that, again, it might sound to some people like it doesn't make a lot of sense. Like, why would a car builder build a car and have it not work? But we have it happen all the time, okay? They don't set the engine properly into the frame. They don't have the right amount of cooling. They don't even tune these engines enough sometimes where they don't run properly. They don't have the right wiring setup. They don't have the right flow. Just the right pulleys. So many things that go into it. This particular car, the guys in service spent so much time thinking about how they were going to lay this all out, and our goal was to make it look like Cadillac built it. And again, I tip my hat to them because they did such an amazing job. So we ordered this as a brand new LS3 from Chevrolet Performance. Again, it came in a crate. We actually painted the engine block the same color as the car to match it. And then we hooked up with Wegner Automotive, and we actually purchased this 2.9, it's a Whipple Supercharger. It's nothing crazy. It's the perfect application for this setup. So now the person who ends up buying this car has a supercharged LS3. The entire serpentine system with all the pulleys and everything was part of that package. These amazing valve covers were also part of that package. But look at how neat everything is. We've got all of this fabricated paneling that's all been bead rolled. The hours and hours and hours that went into the firewall, inner fenders, radiator support, countless hours. The way that the guys did the air conditioning system, again, everything was really thought out. We actually made this piece at MS Classic Cars. Carl Almeida deserves the credit for that. He spent a lot of time making this piece here, the air filter, and then of course painted it, made it all fit perfectly, and again, everything just kind of flows. But look at all of the braided hoses, all of the fittings. Everything was just so well thought out. The cooling system, it's got electric fans, it's got a heavy-duty radiator. The engine is coupled to a GM Performance 4L80E automatic transmission, so you have your overdrive. Of course, there was custom work done to the drive shaft. The power is transferred to a 9-inch housing in the back, so it's got a really strong rear end. It's got a ton of custom suspension. It does ride on Ride-Tech Air Ride. The control actually is in the center console for that. So again, it's set perfectly for driving, which is what you see here today. This is kind of where the car would be sit. For driving, if somebody wants to slam the car a little bit lower, they can raise it a little bit. It's nice that you can kind of program that around your own preferences. But once again, I mentioned the braking system. This car has it all. So for the person who ends up getting this car, you are going to have something that you just never see. You don't really see Cadillacs from this generation with this type of power plant. It's a very, very special car. Once again, we are selling it with no reserve at the upcoming Barrett-Jackson auction. Again, it's going to be January 18th through the 26th in Scottsdale, Arizona. You can register to bid. It is worth it 100%. If you have any questions, please reach out to us. Check it out on our website at msclassiccars.com. We have highlights, we have a full description, we have a ton of photos, we have videos. Again, we're so proud of this car. We appreciate your interest. Please check us out on social media as well. This is going to be an exciting car. We appreciate it again. Merry Christmas to everybody. Happy New Year. Rock and roll.